Welcome back to more F1 2017, the Belgian Grand Prix, and we had some developments fail, as you can see here. Unfortunately, a minor downforce upgrade has failed, but a chassis weight reduction upgrade was successful, and that's been fitted to the car. So, you know, yeah, mixed bag. I've been on a string recently of failed upgrades, which hasn't really filled me with a lot of confidence. Here we can see Belgium soaking. Practice was ruddy soaking. Obviously, I did the practice programs. I did them in the wet because I find them a bit easier in the wet. Because obviously now that I'm playing on 105 difficulty, the practice programs are that much harder. So I figured I would take on any advantage that I could. And plus, it's very rare you actually see some heavy rain. Like, this was properly wet. And I don't really think you've really had the opportunity to see that, this career mode, at least from my memory. And someone in the comments is like, nah, you lie. But it is what it is. Belgium, good track. First sector's a lot of fun. Second sector's a lot of fun. Second, it's all a lot of fun, but I find the second I struggle the most versus the AI. They're very good in that sector. But we're going to bolt in a fresh power unit, and we're going to use our resource points to get that drag upgrade attached to the car. So we're ready for quali. This is lap number 2. Our first lap put us 14th, and I wasn't happy with that. Knew I could do better. So here we go. This is going to be a flying lap of the Belgian Grand Prix. I'm running 6.6 on the aero. Just something nice, plain, generic. And I've tried to do this up to make the rear a little bit planted. Run wide on purpose in turn 1 to get a good exit. That's going to allow us a bit more down the hill. Our delta's not going to go up too much because, of course, the car's top-end speed is what it is. Through the legendary Eau Rouge at 190 miles an hour. Keep the car planted on the right-hand side, then let it drift slowly to the left as we brake 200 miles an hour with the max engine mode and the DRS. Wide open brake just after the 100-meter board. Bring it in for Les Combes. Get it nice and run. Ride the curb a little bit, then bring it through the right-hander. Let it drift over to the left-hand side, and we're nearly 4/10 up on our best time. This is Rivage, where the car constantly just wants to drift out wide. Could have dropped it down to 3rd to get the front end in more, but then you drift out wide as you get on the power. Through the no-name left-hander, and then we're heading down the hill towards Pool and just chuck it in. Keep it in 8th gear, 175 miles an hour. Drift it out wide as we now don't really use as much track as I could as we come up to the Fania chicane. 50-meter board on the brakes. Don't quite hit the apex on the right-hander. Hit too much of it on the left. That drifts the car out wide as we come in through the first part of Stavolo. Again, just missing the apex just by a little bit. Annoyingly, we're nearly a second up. Second part of Stavolo is just a flat right-hander. And now we're charging through the final sector, which is literally just maximum power, maximum attack as we head towards Blanchimont. 197 miles an hour on turn, and keep the car planted over a second up as we head toward the bus stop. Brake just before the 100-meter board to try and get it slowed down. Kiss the apex nicely, bring the car around, hold it nice and tight. Not much oversteer on the exit. It's 1.3 faster, and it puts us just into P10. I gave it literally everything on that lap, and apparently literally everything wasn't enough, because by the end of qualifying, once again, as you guys know, I've dropped down to P12. But we were only half a second off Fernando, which, given recent performance, I'm quite happy to accept just half a second off Fernando, because he has been killing it in qualifying recently. We're going to load up the car with fuel. And the one stop is the much more logical strategy, and it's a much better one. Didn't have any formation lap. 5 lights. Lights are out, and away we go for the Belgian Grand Prix. I completely forgot about my lack of formation lap footage for this one. So, yeah, Lassour's hairpin sent it down the inside. Sainz has gone for the most colossal of dive bombs, and he's made it work. I can't really fault him for that. Fernando is up into 8th. Sainz up to 9th. We're Ocon 10th. We're 11th. We're already side by side with one of the Williams of Felipe Massa through Eau Rouge. Who's got the bigger balls? It's us as we sweep round the outside of the Williams just there. And, of course, we're going to pull into the slipstream of Esteban Ocon. Look at the toe that we've got. We're past Ocon. Sainz squeezes. Bit of grass. Past Sainz. Side by side with Alonso. 3 wide into Les Combes. Sainz has locked up, going straight on. And we've made a triple overtake on the opening lap of the Belgian Grand Prix. We are now up into 8th place, and I've got a much better feeling about this Grand Prix than I have done the previous one in Hungary. This is a track I actually have pace round, so let's see what we can do. With end of lap 2, we're still only 1.6 behind Verstappen. Now the Red Bull is a lot better than our car in the second sector, but during this first and third sector, aside from the Mercs, we were actually the quickest car, which was nice and surprising. Speaking of, well, I was going to say speaking of Mercs, that's a Ferrari. Nonetheless, Kimi Räikkönen has gone straight on at Les Combes and gifted us 7th place as we, again, just keep trying to chase down Max Verstappen. The reason why I was so happy as well about running in quali, starting 12th, is we get a choice of strategy. The one stop isn't really possible. Starting from the ultra soft, you could go to the soft tyres, but they just don't work that well around here. So that's why, you know, doing the super softs and not having to do that ridiculous run on the soft tyre, which of course we are going to have to run this afternoon. But we saw on the previous lap cars into the pit lane, and now we see the remainder of the top cars ahead of us into the pits. So we are going to take the lead for the first time since Baku. As a matter of fact, we're going to take the lead of a Grand Prix, because we didn't manage to do it in Britain, and we've got Sainz and Massa making up the top 3 potential podium positions here on lap 6. We are predicted to stop around lap 9, so we've got to stretch these tyres for a little bit longer while still maintaining a hell of a lot of pace. Speaking of pace, Sainz looks to have some, as he's in our slipstream. Can he get the DRS? Can he attempt to pull any straight line speed? He's thinking about it. We're going to go defensive. Sainz has been brave on the brakes recently. Is he going to try anything into Les Combes? No, thinks better of it. We actually slide a little bit wide, but that off-puts Sainz a little bit, and he wasn't able to capitalise on the opportunity. Bottas is now up into 3rd place. We've run it wide on the exit of Stavolo. That's going to cost us as we charge towards Blanchimont. The Toro Rosso very close to us, already on our inside. We've got to leave him the room of just about a Formula 1 car side by side through Blanchimont. Look at the width between the two cars. No contact made as we head towards the bus stop, hard on the brakes. Sainz not going to be coming through. We cut the car off, don't allow him to cut underneath us as we retain the lead of the Belgian Grand Prix. But Sainz, can he look to make a move down the inside into the Lassalle's hairpin? We're going to run it out wide, and just in case, we're going to try and get the better exit. But Sainz, look at the bite he got on those super soft tyres. He launches himself into the lead, and Carlos Sainz leading a Grand Prix in a Toro Rosso. But thankfully, what that has meant is we cross the DRS detection point behind Sainz. That car tries to snap away from us at the top of Eau Rouge, but we've got DRS and slipstream. Massa, who was running in 4th place, has had to retire the car, which is very unfortunate, but we now pull ahead of Sainz, retain the lead. Well, I say retain the lead, regain the lead as we now come through. We've got a couple more laps, and we need to be trying to go as fast as possible. You can see the tyres are in the mid-40s. I probably could have gone on for a few more laps as we come in on lap 9. But honestly, they were on the teetering edge. I reckon 1-2 more laps wouldn't have really done them any favours. And to be honest, if I had done that, I'm getting into the region where another set of super softs could have taken me to the end. But of course, it is mandatory for us to run the soft tyre. So obviously, what I want to try and do is track position is everything. We get held in the pits annoyingly by Hulkenberg. Track position is everything, so I want to use the fresh rubber, get the undercut, and we're going to come out in some lovely clean air. Hit the pit wall a little bit, so, you know, a little bit of a fight on the exit of the pit lane. But now we've got the clean air, we've got 2 laps of rich mix. I've been saving my fuel for this exact moment of the fresh air, fresh tyres. Bear in mind that we were in a 1st place when we made our pit stop. Everyone else still had to make one more stop when we did that. Sainz in the pits at the end of lap 10, and you can see here, I don't know what's happened to him, but we're ahead of him. Verstappen up next on the road. He's on the ultra softs. He still has to make a pit stop. Come lap 13, we've pulled ahead of him. Bottas still up the road, still on those super softs. He ran those in the middle stint of the Grand Prix, so Bottas still has to make a pit stop. Magnussen behind us on soft tyres. We've been fighting the Haas a hell of a lot more recently. Hamilton comes in for his final stop of the afternoon. He drops down into, drops down the field just in general there, really. And it shows that Bottas is going to have the freshest tyres come the end of this race. But it also means he's the only car ahead of us on circuit, and we will regain the lead. We put in some stellar laps when we were on rich mix. Look, we've been keeping up with this Mercedes car. You know, I'm not sure if Bottas was carrying some kind of issue. I can't remember any kind of team radio about it, but we kept pace with him. As we come across the line, it's a 50.9, so clearly that lap wasn't too great from us, but we've now retaken the lead. It's lap 15 of 22. 8 laps to go if we include the one we're on, and we now have to defend. We lead in a McLaren Honda. Kevin Magnussen in the Haas with the Ferrari power in 2nd place, And Nico Hulkenberg in the works. Renault in third, and Magnussen's got an excellent run off of Eau Rouge. Can he look to do anything as we head towards Lake Com? We put it up into Rich. Magnussen tries to look for the inside. We defend. He sits in our slipstream, lunges to the outside. Credit to him. Holds it on the inside, but doesn't quite get it right. We've had to run out wide, let him have the room. Otherwise, that could have been a bit of an incident. You know, I've tried to be a bit more delicate, considering, you know, how aggressive we've been recently. So I wanted cars to have a bit more space this time around, especially after what happened in Hungary with Nico Hulkenberg, who could maybe at some point have a go at us. But the very next lap, Magnussen once again has got a brilliant run. He's committed to the outside early this time around, so we swap middle of the road to the inside. Where's Magnussen? He doesn't quite break as late this time around. We are the ones that hold the inside, but we don't allow him to cut underneath us at any point. We do run a bit wide, unfortunately. And you can see there, Magnussen, Hulkenberg closing up. Then you see the Toro Rosso, and Alonso is there in 5th. So Alonso is less than 10 seconds off the lead of a Formula 1 race. So it goes to show the McLaren working very well around here. You can see now Magnussen's going to have a go into Eau Rouge side by side once again. Hold it round the outside. Do my best Mark Webber impression against another car as we now head down once again towards Lake Com. Lap 18 now, giving it everything we've got. Magnussen hasn't been able to pull alongside us this time around, so we thankfully are able to take a very normal sort of racing line. But of course we need to factor in that group of cars is slowly closing up to us, and come lap 19 they're getting closer still. Magnussen still in second, Hulkenberg still in third. He hasn't been able to get past Magnussen. Magnussen hasn't been able to get past me. Bear in mind, we've got a pair of Mercedes cars charging everyone down on super soft tyres. Magnussen once again going to try and give it a go. We've actually got one of the Mercs just behind Hulkenberg. That's Lewis Hamilton as we defend from Magnussen, who's locked up. Hasn't had the best run through Lake Com. And Hulkenberg now finds himself in second position as the laps tick down on the Belgian Grand Prix. Lap 20, up Eau Rouge. Hulkenberg now. Is he going to be able to have a go at us into Lake Com? We once again pop it up to Rich for this one singular straight. Hulkenberg's got an excellent run. Hamilton's got a brilliant one as well. Can he look to do anything? No, Hamilton sits behind, sort of waits to see what happens. Hulkenberg gets squeezed on the apex, but he manages to retain second place from the charging Hamilton as the laps continue to tick down. Penultimate lap, lap 21 of 22, the Belgian Grand Prix. We're not in Rich as of yet. We move across. Hamilton comes across to the right-hand side, 3 wide into Lake Com. Who's going to be last of the late breakers? Hamilton takes too much curb. Hulkenberg runs it out wide, gets into the path of the Haas. Hamilton up into second, but not able to take the lead from us as this lovely helicopter shot details. But now is crunch time. We are coming up to the end, coming towards the bus stop. Hamilton's going to try and have a go as we come through Blanchimont, 195 miles an hour now. He's in the faster car. He's on the faster tyre. We've got to use every ounce of fuel and driving prowess as we try and outbrake him. Don't let him cut underneath us as we now move on to the final lap of the Belgian Grand Prix. Is this going to be the difference between victory and second place? Hamilton, we tried to squeeze him against the pit wall. He has gone tight into La Source. We run it out wide to try and get the better exit. Hamilton on the better tyre though, better engine. What's going to happen as we go down towards the hill? Hamilton has pulled ahead as we cross the DRS zone. That means we are the car behind. We've played it nice and tactically, similar to what we did earlier on in the Grand Prix versus Carlos Sainz. Up to Rich, slipstream, DRS. Here we go. Towards Lake Com, Hamilton moves across. He realises he's been beaten though. Can he do anything into the braking zone? He tries. We squeeze him out. Hold the inside line. Don't allow him to come past us. Hamilton's down to third. Magnussen's able to sneak a position on the Mercedes driver. No idea what happened. Hamilton's been able to repass him though before the bus stop. But it's a return back to form. And it's a return back to the top step of the podium as we come across the line to win the Belgian Grand Prix.
Superb driving. That's the race win.
Our drivers are making their way out for the podium celebrations, and it's going to be McLaren picking up the winner's trophy. Congratulations to the entire team for that fantastic performance.
So there you have it. We win the Belgian Grand Prix on that one stop. Lewis Hamilton had some monstrous pace at the end to come home second, and Magnussen rounds out the podium for Haas. Hülkenberg getting an excellent finish in fourth for Renault, then Verstappen, Raikkonen, Palmer, Sainz, Ricciardo, Grosjean is your top 10. Alonso, for whatever reason, managed to drop down to 12th in the end there, having looked to finish as high as 6th at one point. The Sauber's getting 13th and 14th is a nice touch just there. A couple of DNFs at the end, and obviously Vettel retired from the race at some point. Not 100% sure when that happened. That win has catapulted us back into second place of the Drivers' World Championship just there. But obviously it's, it's us, and then it's 13 points back to Raikkonen, but then Raikkonen, Bottas and Vettel separated by 4 points. Hamilton is just unreachable at this point. I'm fairly confident he's going to win the Drivers' World Championship. Once again, we come across to the Constructors. 191 points for McLaren now. So, Red Bull, staying, they're 65 points behind us. So, that's a solid chunk. But we don't want to be getting comfortable. We want to keep upgrading the car, keep getting the results. Obviously, Alonso, it's still kind of bugged. Alonso doesn't get the power upgrades, and obviously we're getting the ultimate upgrade for Italy. Fingers crossed it goes on the car. I haven't recorded that yet, so I don't actually know. But it'll be the perfect time to get the ultimate upgrade because, we got our first podium in Italy in Season 1. I'd love to get our 4th win of our career. I think 3 wins. This McLaren Honda was nowhere like 30 parts ago, and now we've got 3 victories. And this one we had to fight for it, Montreal was a perfect weekend. Baku, we got lucky. This one was actually like a fight of pure pace, and it was exciting. But that has been the Belgian Grand Prix, guys. I hope you have enjoyed, and thank you very much for watching. Leave a like down below if you did enjoy, and comment any feedback. Would really appreciate that. Remember to subscribe and enable them notifications to let you know about the content that comes to the channel and to not miss a single video. I shall see you all next time for our ultimate upgrade and the Italian Grand Prix.